Coming up next, a Houston man is on a cross-country tour. He explains how a young guy like himself ended up with what some call an old man's disease. It's a story you'll want to share with your husband, uncle, or son, and it's coming up next on Houston Life.
Well, welcome back to Houston Life. September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, and do your family a favor and record this next segment, especially if you have a son who's college age.
Yeah, many people assume prostate cancer is an old person's disease, but our next guest was just 35 years old when he was diagnosed. His name is Gabe Canales, and he believes his lifestyle in college potentially contributed to his diagnosis. We'll have more on that in just a moment. Hi, Gabe. It's good to see you.
It's good to be with you guys. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, well, we always love having you here on Houston Life. It's been a minute. You graduated from the University of St. Thomas. What do you mean that your college years may have contributed to your diagnosis at 35?
Well, when I received that diagnosis at 35, it was the 5th doctor that I saw who wanted to know. I didn't have a family history of the disease, nor did I have any symptoms. It was through an inadvertent PSA test. But when he looked at my lifestyle habits, and though prostate cancer didn't run in my family, he said poor lifestyle habits do. It's the reason why many men in your family have died prematurely of heart disease, diabetes, and stroke. And my family, a large Hispanic family, a lot of the men are overweight and obese. And a year before my diagnosis, I was 40 pounds heavier. I had high cholesterol. So we see that there is an association. You look at study after study after study, and there are a lot of men that once they're diagnosed, they see that they do have high cholesterol or high blood pressure, or they are overweight or obese. The average age of diagnosis is 66 for prostate cancer. So what can guys in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and even 50s do when we're told not to even have that conversation for screenings till we're in our 50s? It starts with lifestyle, and it starts with getting an annual checkup. Millions of men, most men don't get checkups, and millions of men miss cancer screenings due to COVID. President Biden recently said 9.5 million Americans miss cancer screenings due to COVID. We know that men can get out in front of this if they start consistently getting annual checkups and know these 4 numbers: blood pressure, blood cholesterol, blood sugar, and BMI, or body fat percentage. Those are early predictors of heart disease, diabetes, and stroke. Also, early stage prostate cancer. The 5th number is a PSA test. So all men should have that conversation with their physician, whether you have a family history or not. Look at those other numbers and ask your physician about cancer screenings. Have that conversation. This is especially important for Black and Hispanic men that have poorer outcomes.
You know, there's such great information when you hear about, you know, lifestyle. It is the precursor to so many things.
So many things.
And this is such a great conversation for our men to understand what this all means in the big picture of health. And you've done this too. Congratulations, because you just have your new book.
Thank you.
I know you've toured the country, you've gone around, you're speaking and telling your story, but the written word is really powerful as well.
It is, and I think about my dad, and of course I wanted to share my story, and I think that when people actually see on their screens, that guy still lives with prostate cancer. He's lived with it for 12 years with early stage prostate cancer. Yeah, but I also wrote this because I don't want to end up like my father, who is on 16 prescription pills a day. Diet and lifestyle have never been a conversation that his doctors have even discussed with him. And again, when you see that Hispanic men, 80% of Hispanic men in America are overweight and obese, we need to have a conversation about lifestyle. And again, encouraging men. There's no shame in talking about these things. Segments like this will actually get men to get a checkup and get men to have that conversation with other men about cancer screenings, but most importantly, their physician. Ask about a colonoscopy. Ask about a PSA test. Oftentimes, men see these numbers. Once they get a checkup, they don't ask questions with their physician. They don't say, what does this mean? So that's one of the problems that we have, is you've got to ask questions. No shame.
We're tight on time, Gabe, but you have mentioned before that 75% of your followers are women, because women want to protect the men in their lives.
Absolutely.
So this message truly is for everyone.
Everyone, absolutely. Again, I'm grateful that you guys have given me this opportunity, because when I travel the country, I have more women that come up to me and say, we appreciate all this breast cancer awareness and all this stuff that we see in the media, but we need more for men. We need to move that needle. So it's the women that are really spearheading the change in conversation too.
Yeah, have the conversation, get out there, get checked, talk to your doctor, don't be afraid. Gabe Canales, great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much. And to our viewers, if you would like to connect with Gabe or purchase his book, we do have a link on the Scene on Houston Life section of our website, houstonlife.tv.